Yo, man, there's this topic that I want to sit and have a round table about. It's a subject that I haven't heard anybody touch on, and irk me is too strong, but it's something that I think is worth a conversation, man. Like, so around the NBA, like the conversation for the past couple of years has been, uh, you know, black coaches not getting enough opportunities, right? In a league that's 90% African American, we don't see enough black coaches. We don't see enough black GMs. Just that and the third, right? A conversation that isn't being had is we have those complaints and it's legit. But then we get young black coaches to get a chance, and then the young black superstar basically betrays or turns on that coach, right? Because usually when they bring in a guy like that, it's for a rebuild, it's for or whatever, right? Like we look at Silas, the Silas brother comes in, right, and gets an opportunity in Houston. Now Houston is a perennial, at the very least, playoff team, but for most of those years contender with James Harden at the helm, right? They bring in Silas his first year. Harden basically dogs it out of town, comes into camp out of shape, plays out of shape, and just plays awful until they trade him. So now the new young black coach is left to rebuild, and then obviously, right, take Steve Kerr and Steve Nash. They walked into great situations and it looked like they're great coaches, which I think Steve Kerr is a great coach. But when you walk into a great situation, it's easy to look like a good coach, right? But then when you're a young black coach, you come into a bad situation. The label of not being a good coach can get attached to you very quick, but you don't have no pieces to work with. James Harden dogged his way up out of Houston. Then Silas is left to rebuild with all young talent, and Houston's not very good, right? And then he got John Wall, who I don't even know if he's the same version of himself anymore. But John Wall don't want to play there neither, right? He basically saying he ain't gonna suit up. Now look what's happening in Portland. Dame Lillard for years preached this loyalty, and I'm riding with Portland, and I want to win one here in Portland. They hire a young black, not young, but they Chauncey Billups finally get his chance. We've been talking about Chauncey Billups for 4 or 5 years now. He finally gets an opportunity as a head coach, and Dame is playing his worst basketball ever. And now you look, Dame is all one of his best ability is availability. Dame don't get injured a lot. Dame don't sit games a lot. He done set the last 2, 3 games, and when he was playing, he ain't playing good, and everybody thinks he's trying to dog it out of Portland. He waits until they bring in Chauncey Billups to decide he want to dog it out of town. I think it's a conversation worth having, man, where we as a, because the players talk about it too. We can't complain about black coaches not getting a chance, and then when they do get a chance, they're black star who could change their whole narrative, man. Like Dame Lillard, as much as I dog him out, he's at the very least been keeping Portland competitive for the last 4 or 5 years, keeping them in the playoff, even made the Western Conference Finals. Same with James Harden. Like Houston gonna win 50 games. They gonna be in the top five in the West. They gonna make the playoffs. They made a Western Conference Finals run, right? Two of them. Now y'all get these new young black coaches and y'all treat them like trash. And then again, they both left working with nothing. This is the one last time we seen Portland with a losing record. They doing it now. I could go on and on about it, man, but it's a conversation. I want to do a round table about it, man. Y'all give me y'all thoughts.